We should delete this and do it again.
No, consider this your weekly dose of reality with the Inner Circle podcast. How is everyone? How are you performing? How are you?
I'm, you know what? I'm really good, but I'm really tired.
You
I'm I'm tired. I'm physically drained.
well, you know, I'm
But
gonna be too.
yeah, but I'm good. I'm trying to make the best out of this fucking weather. This cold weather sucks. I'm glad I booked a trip coming soon. So did you. I can't wait for February.
You know,
January
February, I
oh,
go.
great.
There's no surprise there. Like I am up and away like Superman. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Basically, in 2 weeks. Yeah, basically, almost I can say 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
You crisp sun. Yeah, like 2 weeks and a half. Yeah, seen right there. That new intro was a sneak peek to our new little spin-off that we have that we gonna start during high fashion seasons. Keep it a shredded. It's one of our favorite games here on the podcast, as we've discussed and played so many times in the almost 300 episodes. Next week, 300 fucking episodes. We're celebrating. And in case y'all wondering, and y'all see this is just lemonade. This is some good old lemonade. But next week, I'll have a cocky in
I
here.
cannot wait to drink. Jesus Christ.
Next week we're celebrating, and it's my first day where I could drink again. So February 3rd, and we're celebrating 300 episodes. Wait, is it February 3rd or February 4th? 4th, February 4th next week. But yeah, I'll be drinking for the first time next Wednesday, celebrating our 300th episode with some friends that will be popping up and appearing. So I'm excited for that.
Me too. I think I want it to be more game related than like conversation, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's why we're saving the games. You know, usually we play games, but today I'm just gonna say it at the top of the show. Sorry to disappoint if I came for some games. No games today, but we do have a few things to talk about. Cause yeah, next week we're gonna definitely have some games. Congrats to the Patriots. I guess it's the Patriots versus the Seahawks. Going to the Super Bowl. Look at me.
Look at you. Look at you being very sporty.
Sign me up for ESPN. I could do it all. I could do it all.
Oh my god.
Um,
I don't really care for any of the teams. Like I'm happy with whoever wins. I wouldn't, for political purposes, I want the Seahawks to win. But if the Patriots win, since I know your brothers are big Patriots fans, like New England stand up, that's cool too. But I'm just here for Benito. That's it.
I honestly feel I don't know. Listen, I don't watch football, y'all. I don't watch football. I haven't watched one single game this season. There was a point that I watched football. You see, I'm that type of cool, dope boyfriend though. That if you know I'm your man and you're mine. I have put up with football games. There was an ex of mine that loved football, and I
Wait,
will watch some games.
Taurus?
It goes back. No.
Oh, okay,
That
okay.
was actually I will watch some baseball games with.
Have
So
you gone to a Yankee
I
game?
know how to be versatile. I could kick it. I could watch it or whatever. Is it my favorite thing? No, but like honestly, I'm that type of dude that if my person likes that or I have an open mind. I give it a chance, especially if it's something that they really love. So
That's
but,
funny because I was having this conversation last night where like there are certain TV shows and like genre of TV that I love that like somebody may not like. So if like you're dating someone and they're into anime, but I'm not into anime, I'm more into like murder mysteries and like crime. I'll take an opportunity and like I'll take no, I actually no, I take that back. I'm lying. I'm not interested. I'm not gonna watch that shit. But you know, I'll like support you by like if you want something, I'll buy you something as a gift. But to watch it, no, because I
Well,
wouldn't force anyone to watch Real Housewives.
but it's not about forcing. It's about, and it's not about them now watching every episode of whatever you would like to watch. But sometimes I'm not sitting there saying that I watched the whole season with that ex either of football. No, absolutely not. But there will be some games that I will sit in and chilling quality time, and it's what. So that's what I mean. It's not necessarily get into everything they watch, but I mean, I disagree with that. I would actually, if someone liked anime, I wouldn't. I would at least sit there and watch an episode and be like, all right, let
I
me check.
have tried, and I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I watched the wrong one. I mean, I'm gonna try to give it a shot just because I promised I would. But hmm, I don't know. Anyway, how was your
Um, well, let's talk about our weekend, because our weekend on Saturday we met up. We were together. How did that group together? Remember that group together? You plus
I
me
know
equals
my calculus. Yeah.
um, we're aging ourselves. And I mean, who? I guess I wonder who, if people even know who Together was. But we were together this past weekend in the torrential, not the torrential, but in the horrendous, cold polar vortex.
Mhm.
Um, Jack Frost deep anal cavity. Um, Coldness that is New York City right now. We made it out. We went to see Andy and Anderson. Their show that they've been doing for a few years. They took a break, and they're back. They had a show in Boston, then they hit New York.
Mhm.
That was We've seen them before in other settings, but this was the first, I guess.
This
Really.
was they call it an intimate evening with AC2 Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. Basically, they just shoot the shit and talk about things like I don't want to say current events, but like things happening in their life, like topics about them being both parents and work wise, and like they answer Q&A. I had a great time. I was looking forward to seeing that all. I did I buy it in the summer or the fall? I don't remember, but I know I bought it last year, and I was like, I need to do something the top of the year so that way I have something to look forward to, and I'm, you
Oh yeah,
know,
I kind of remember that now, because I totally forgot, to be honest.
yeah,
You
I
hit
remember buying it
me.
months ago. So I had a blast, even though the weather sucked. It was great to go, get there, be seated, and like bounce and go straight home. So it was cool. I had a fun time. There's things that they don't really want us to like speak on because it's like
Yeah, they spoke about their kids, some things about their kids, and then one of the things I thought was dumb, that I thought they were like, "Oh, this story about the mom thing and the college," I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
with,
I'm like, that's
I mean,
silly, but
yeah, but like media could spin that shit and make it bigger than it is. The one thing that I will say was kind of like a tearjerker at one point was when Anderson talked about the
mhm.
topic of grief and how it comes full circle where you grieve throughout your life, but you grieve in different ways. And like I I feel like that was a sentimental part. I don't know about you because I was not looking at you. I was looking straight forward, but like that was very kind of like sad, not sad, but I felt like it was very emotional for a lot of people. I know for me, I was kind of like I wasn't crying, but I got a little wet in the eyes.
Yeah. For me, I didn't. I definitely didn't. I didn't cry, but for me, I appreciated that moment, because you and I have been having conversations, conversations that have to do with grief,
Yeah.
and things that grief. So I looked at it. I appreciated that moment, and again, like I do, the guy I am, the Pisces I am, I looked at it as, wow, what a coincidence. Feelings that I've been having, thoughts and different things. and things that you and I both have talked about. For us to both be together there and hear that, it's like, okay. And I received it. And where it was a sad, it is sad, and it's like, damn. I enjoy. It was. I don't know. I appreciated the moment. And I looked at it as a sign.
I don't think Anderson Cooper does his podcast anymore. It was called All There Is, something like that. I would listen to it, and like every fucking episode I would just start crying, because you hear like stories about people and like things that a person doesn't have to die for you to grieve. A person could be alive and well, and like you just don't have a relationship with them, and like that's grieving. Or you could grieve a moment, something happening in your life, whatever. Doesn't necessarily have to be death all the time, and that's the biggest misconception about grief. But I found it to be a great show, and I'm glad that they started the tour again. But um I was thinking about like BravoCon, and he said that they're gonna do Fan Fest, like Bravo Fan Fest
Yeah, someone asked about, they did a Bravo Fan Fest
in Miami.
years ago in Miami, around November, I believe, in 2024. Yes. So someone asked if that's gonna happen again, and he said he couldn't really talk about it. Typical Andy answer, political answer, safe answer, but basically that there is something being worked. But he
I
can't
would
say.
go.
So I think because BravoCon, I don't think there's gonna be a Bravo. I think they're gonna be doing BravoCon every 2 years or something like that. I don't think there's gonna be one this year. So I think what they're gonna do is in between each year, there's gonna be the Fan Fest thing and then a BravoCon. Fan Fest and a BravoCon. That's how I think they're gonna.
If it's like in Miami or somewhere close on the East Coast, then I'll go. But I don't really care to go to Vegas for BravoCon.
So I know we spoke about this last week.
Mhm.
Shows we were watching and stuff. You finally watched. We spoke about his and hers. Check out last week's episode for that, or go to our Instagram page for some clips we posted about our thoughts. But you finally watched Runaway on Netflix as well. Um, and you were just blown away. Like, this
Yeah.
is the opposite feeling. So, and I know I spoke about it, but I want for people to get your take, your opinion on it, in case they haven't watched or haven't felt compelled enough to watch it yet.
So, a quick synopsis: Runaway is a British TV series that basically follows a family that has a daughter that is basically a runaway. She goes away to college, but then she starts using drugs allegedly, and well, not allegedly, she actually does. And she ends up, you know, becoming close with this person. I don't want to give too much away because everyone
Yeah,
is entangled in some sort of way. I
it's
just
a
want
lot.
the ending, like, it's so subtle but fucking crazy. Like, I was just like, whoa. And I think that there's a lot of secrets within each person, and that's
Mhm.
probably why like a lot of people, there was a mix of everyone in a sense, but it started off kind of slow at first, like the first episode, but it wasn't a sleeper. It was entertaining. So
By
much
the
so,
end, by
yeah.
the end of the first episode, you're hooked.
Yes, correct. Whereas like
Mhm.
in his and hers, no, you weren't.
Yeah,
Like it was a
it
snooze.
took like the third episode.
But Runaway on Netflix is a great show. I recommend anyone that likes like, I want to, would you consider it to be like a psychological thriller or murder, not like a crime?
I wonder what Netflix puts it under.
I don't think it's a crime.
Crime, not crime, like a thriller,
Yeah.
thriller mystery.
Yeah, it was really good. I loved it. 10 out
Yeah,
of 10.
yeah, such a good show. Such a good show.
Thank
Some
you for
other
the
people was recommending
recommendation.
things under my comments, so I gotta go back. There was one someone recommended that's similar to, I guess, his and hers on Runaway. I had put on my Facebook. I had recommended both, and some people recommended things, so I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I said it last week on the show. The Assassin. on AMC Plus. You could find it. That's pretty good. I have one more episode to go. It's 6 episodes in total. That's a pretty good show. Um,
Mhm.
but last week also, wow, we're referencing back to last week's episode again. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. We broke the news, well, not broke the news, but we reported on news that broke Sunday night when Brooklyn Beckham decided to spill the tea and basically distance himself from his family. This in turn basically had them all over the media, especially I'm surprised in the US how much they were in the media. So I could imagine overseas back, in their neck of the woods, how much media attention they must be getting over there if
Right.
we're getting it over here. But with that being said, it gave Victoria Beckham, where some would think it would damage her, it did not. It actually gave her music a resurgence up in the charts. In the UK, it peaked at number one for the first time in there's different charts, not the overall chart. I had to do my investigation because I myself was skeptical, like overall chart. She went to number one, but she did go to number one in certain charts. It's just not the overall UK charts. But nonetheless, she finally has her first number one because out of all the Spice Girls that released solo efforts, being the nicest way I can say it, her music career was the least booming. Um,
Yeah.
and there's even those British hosts over there are ruthless. I believe it's not Alan Carr, it's this other guy. Actually, one of the same people who was in their Spice World movie, who interviewed her and basically kind of told her, like, yeah, because your voice isn't, we don't know your voice is not the best. Like in those words. I don't know if
Mhm.
you see that interview, but and you should see her face and everything. But yeah, nonetheless, her music career up the charts, and it had me going into a tailspin of her music. Do you know? I don't know if you know this. Do you know there's a Victoria Beckham lost album?
No.
Yes, there is. And I actually knew about this. I actually have known about this since the early 2000s. She was supposed to release a follow-up to her first debut album around 2002 3. And back then also it was reported, and I remember this being that age, that she was working with like hip hop people like Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and if yeah, there's even pictures and
That
videos.
makes sense because she was a model for Rockaware.
Yeah, she worked with them with things. She actually made a label go not made, but she bankrupt a label. She bankrupt Telstar, who basically gave her a 1.5 million euros. I mean, and well, million in the UK, um, advancement towards that album, but it was never released. They lost all that money, and they were not an established record label either like that. They had maybe one or two artists that had like one hit wonders big over there, but nothing crazy. So she actually inadvertently bankrupted that label and never released the album. Now we've heard like this on this groove. I don't know if you heard that.
I probably heard it. I just don't know it by name.
Well, I found the album and it's called Open Your Eyes. And I have to say, I'm gonna send it to you after the show, and I want you, like you specifically, but anyone who does want to listen, I need you to go, like when you listen to it, go back into that time of 2002 and 3, and what was the sound back then? All
Is
right,
it on? Is it like on
it's on
Apple
YouTube.
or?
It's on YouTube because it could be. I know how for some people it could be like, oh, this sounds so outdated. It's so like early 2000s pop. Yes, but again, immerse yourself in that era of 2002 and 3 and all those type of stylistic songs that were popular. This album should have been released. It's an amazing pop album in my opinion. It has a bit of everything. Your pop, you hear that little R&B influence. She has a song called that gives very Enrique Iglesias. You know how like that little Latin tinge dance was popular in the early 2000s?
Mm,
He has a song
Bailamos.
very, you know what song? I read a comment actually today, and I'm like, oh, they hit it right on the spot. It's reminiscent of Kylie Minogue's On a Night Like This. There's a certain
Mm,
song. Every Little Thing. Yeah, it's called Every Little Thing. That's the one that had I wrote Latin tinge chords. My Love Is For Real. It gives very 80s pop like feel, retro. Um,
Mhm.
Generate the Flow is that early 2000s. You know, like back then when like you had like the R&B people that was trying to like have still be a little pop, and then the pop acts that were trying to get that little R&B like R&B tinge. I describe it as a very early 2000s pop R&B sound. Like, you know, when they wanted to cross over.
Yeah.
That's what Generate the Flow. Um it's a good album. I'm gonna send it to you after the show, and I really want to get your opinion. I want you to listen to the whole thing and get your opinion on what you
I
thought.
can't wait.
Yeah, it's her album that was supposed to come out that never came out. So, but shout out to Victoria Beckham. I mean, not all bad press. What is it? Not all
Not
bad
all
press.
bad press. Not all press is bad press.
Well, not good. Whatever the hell this saying is. This press is not doing anything bad for Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
If anything, is doing good things. So, but prayers out, sincerely prayers out to the family, because all in all, like I've thought about it, and it's like I can imagine being a father and like having a rift with my child. Um, and me as a son, I know what it is, how it was at one point when, I didn't have the closest relationship to my mom. And in a sense, I
Yeah.
was estranged doing my own thing or whatever and didn't want to be bothered. So I know that feeling. And life's too short. So prayers for them. And he's a Pisces. So, I don't want nothing to happen to his parents. And then that's something that you're going to have many years of therapy on that couch because of the guilt you're going to feel. So hopefully they can mend things. But moving on, something that I hope will never happen between us besties. Once upon a time, best friends and collaborators, Chad Hugo sues Pharrell Williams. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did. I had a long conversation with my brother because we grew up with the Neptunes. We grew
Mhm.
up with NERD. I love them. Like they are amazing producers in their own right.
Yeah.
But it's very sad
Together,
and unfortunate.
together, for some other people who may not know, they together they produce huge hits, so many hits. But some "Rock Your Body" by Justin Timberlake, "Holla Back Girl" Gwen Stefani, "Drop It Like It's Hot" Snoop Dogg, and the list goes on and on and on. Together, them. But yeah, Chad Hugo is suing for 1 million worth of damages, withheld money, and failed to report accountings to numerous shared business related accounts to the NERD LCC. He never received his 25% agreed upon proceeds, and he was denied access to accounting records um, in 2021. So, yeah.
I know NERD was composed of three people. It was Chad Hugo, Pharrell Williams, and Shay. I forgot Shay's last name. Shay was one of more like a private citizen. Like he really wasn't. He was musically like amazing, but he wasn't really out there like that. I'm surprised that no one's mentioned Shay. I would like. I'm gonna have to look into that, but that's really unfortunate because like they've known each other since high school, I think, and that's sad.
And
Money,
in 2019, Virginia, where they're from, they honored them with
yeah,
some honor for them being from there and what they contributed and everything. So,
yeah. I
and
think
that
they
was
got
in 2019. They were together in 2019. The last time
yeah.
they were together, they were photographed and everything. So it's crazy.
A lot of people say that Pharrell gets credit for a lot of like the beats and every and like the production part, like aspect of everything, but it was mostly Chad that did like the melodies and the
Mhm.
production of it all, or like the audio engineering. So I don't know. Hopefully they could figure it out because this is sounding like Hall and Oates. You know, have you heard of Hall and Oates?
I've heard of them, but I don't know much of them.
They're
What?
the ones that have there's like yacht rock, but like they have a bunch of songs. If I play the songs, you'll know who they are. But they hate each other. They're not friends. They don't go on tour. Like it's
Isn't
sad.
it like that group Oasis with those brothers?
Yeah, Oasis. supposedly they're getting back together to like go on tour. I think that they went on tour. I don't know. But those are siblings and those they fight like they squawk like chickens.
Hi,
Squawk.
Hilary Duff and Haley Duff.
Yeah.
But we don't even talk. According to that's a song, actually. That's a song. It just came out quick. A new song from Hilary Duff about it's called We Don't or We Don't Talk. We don't, something like that. Which by the way, Hilary Duff was in Brooklyn yesterday. And the show looked amazing. The show looked cool. I've seen a few people that I know that posted that went and it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool. Good for her. I like the resurgence and the attention and the praise she's getting. Because let's be real, also, like Hillary Duff is not a singer. There was a point.
But she had a few bops that were used in like I remember what song was it that was used on some show.
Sweet 16.
And so yesterday.
Or wait, you mean Let the Rain Fall
That
Down?
one too. That wasn't that Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's, she got a couple bops that millennials know about. How many kids does she have? Because every time I've seen her in the news, it's because she's pregnant.
She has 3 girls and 1 boy. 3 with the guy she's with, Master Kuma. I thought the same thing. I'm like, damn, I didn't realize she had that many kids that like much. I knew she had like at least. I thought she had 3. The boy for sure, Luca. That was the first one. And then I knew she had like a girl. She got pregnant because remember the show Younger we used to watch.
Yeah.
We used to watch. She was pregnant in one of the seasons, so I knew that. But now she has 3 kids. She has altogether 4, 3 girls and 1 boy.
Damn. I'm looking up how old she is. She's
30. Those Libras like to pop babies. Boys or girls. Look at Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
We know a few personal Libras too.
Oh, I see. Yeah, she does have 4. Well, God bless her and her kids, but I think it's cute when not cute. I don't want to use that word. I think it's awesome that people like Nelly Furtado, her, and who else? I don't know, people from like the poppy girls from back in the day, they're going on tour now and like putting out their music.
Yeah, Nelly Furtado went on tour last year, but then she swore off touring anymore. She says she's like done.
Yeah, she's over it. I don't blame her. I don't.
I mean, the world was cruel because I guess she gained a little weight.
Yeah, but I feel like more people are more accepting now than they were before. Because if she looked like that before, she wouldn't have been as popular, to be honest. But it's still fucked up. Like people are more interested in like why she gained so much weight. The same thing happened to BB Rexa. Like BB Rexa could sing, but everyone just focused on her weight gain and stuff. And I think it's fucked up that people will say something like, "Oh, she should just get on like Ozempic." Not everyone can get on those injectables first and foremost, and not everyone wants to. Yeah. So the fact that people are telling them to lose weight that way is crazy.
Well, now they have so much though. Like even on the train, everywhere commercials. What is this? This GLP or the GLB?
GLP is basically all of them. It's like the whole. That's what it is. But the umbrella is the main ingredient is semaglutide. So now you could take it in pill form. Now you could do still the injectables. Instead of it being Ozempic or Mounjaro or Wegovy, there are private companies that sell the same brands, but under a different name, like Row, I think it's called. Zepbound. Yeah.
I hear what you say where it's more socially acceptable now, because I think we did come a long way, especially with the plus size and the whole modeling world and all that, and the controversy that was once upon a time. Hi, America's Next Top Model. Can't wait to see that documentary on Netflix coming up February 16th.
I'll be watching it from the plane.
But oh yeah. But I feel there is a shift. I feel there's a shift. And I think now because of the Ozempic and all these things that I guess could help you, or you could lose weight, and everyone's doing it. I think that's the push. The way I see these commercials, the way I see the advertisements, this was not a thing before like that. I did not
It's
see it.
almost like it's almost like people feel there is no excuse to be
Big
overweight.
anymore. So is they're pushing that thing, and I think that that's a little scary if you ask me.
It is scary because like there are people that have predispositioned or pre-genetic dispositions as to why they're, bigger or whatever. I know when I got on Ozempic at first, obviously it was for like medical reasons, but it like you have to have certain requirements to even get that shit approved. Like you can't just, unless you're a celebrity, you can't just get that shit from like over the counter. Um, but I saw how Lizzo went to some like a screening or something,
Yeah.
and she was wearing like a short dress, and like obviously Lizzo looks really good lately. She's lost a lot of weight or whatever. And people were just like, "Oh my god, Lizzo, amazing, blah blah blah." And it's like, you guys are so quick to like give accolades to people for losing weight, but like if someone gains weight, like Nelly Furtado, you guys rip her to shreds. How about be happy and thankful that she's even wanting to like give her fans music
Yeah.
and be out there? I don't get it. This world is bullshit.
And I don't know. I really don't know. Even not to move on from this, but I seen an article about even how the way Trump has all these like women, the woman in his cabinet and all that stuff, how
Yeah.
they all plastics. Didn't we see that together or something? A magazine?
No,
Where he
probably
sent a
someone else.
meme?
But no, but I noticed that because if you there's like on TikTok like before and after pictures of all the women in his like cabinet or whatever, and how they have Botox, lip filler,
Fillers.
extensions, procedures, threads, all that shit. And it's like, you
He
know
wants
what? I'm
to.
not gonna knock it because at the end of the day, I'm the type of person that think if you want to make yourself look better and feel better, then do it. I'm all for it. However, those bitches are fucking terrible people. So what is it? What's that expression? You could put lipstick on a pig and it's still a
He's
pig.
still a pig. And at the end of the day, also is they're doing it for most likely from the influence. He wants bimbo Barbies behind him in his cabinet. He's a pig. He wants like it's always about beauty and girls and stuff. Like I've heard stories about him behind the scenes with an apprentice, and
Yeah.
it's always been about looks and stuff. He's one of those guys. So
That's why he's like in love with his daughter. Also.
yeah. Well, anyways, before we end the show, what's your note not today?
My nope, not today is finding out that this weekend is going to be another snowstorm and it may be even worse than the one we just had. So I'm very upset because, like, listen, I like the snow when it's a white Christmas, but I need this shit to go. It's dirty, it's gross. I need to be wearing Tim's to work. I feel like a butch queen. Like, I need this to like go. I need spring, summer ASAP.
My note not today is working for free or people who expect people to work for free.
Mm-mm.
The words of Naomi Campbell, I don't get out of bed for, I'm not going to say how much because I
That
don't
was
need that.
Linda Evangelista.
Oh, it was Linda Evangelista. Well, in the words of Linda Evangelista, thank you, Bestie. I don't get out of bed for it, and I'm still gonna stop it right there because I don't make the money Linda Evangelista was making per shoots. But I don't do nothing for free. You see this? Time is money, and this could be somewhere else making money. So I do a lot and give a lot of myself to the world and to the things I do, but I ain't stupid and I don't come for free.
Mama raised
So,
no fool.
all right. So, with that being said, we thank you guys so much for tuning in next week. I'm excited about next week because it's our friends. It's 300 episodes, and we're gonna have some of our favorite friends on with us that have been on the podcast, and we're going to shoot the shit, play some games, but overall celebrate and just be amongst friends. And we hope you guys join us because you guys are our circle friends as well, and we appreciate your support. 300 fucking episodes. We'll celebrate next week. Adios.
Bye.
And they said we couldn't do it.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle Podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube.